Hello, this is Tim Campsell at Action Coach Business Coaching with my Survive and Thrive Business Spotlight series. The purpose is to interview local owners and promote them through my social channels and email database as a way to as well as provide them coaching. This is a free service I'm doing because if we save every business, we save the economy. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Greg. Welcome, Greg. It's great to have you on the program today.
Good morning, Tim. Thank you for letting me join you this morning.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump in. Tell us a little bit about yourself and give us a 60-second commercial for your business.
Okay. Well, I'm a CEO of 3 different companies. By trade, I'm a hairdresser. So I have a salon in Indianapolis I've had for 37 years. It's called St. Charles International Hair Care. In 2004, I started my own hair care product line we call St. Charles International Hair Care Products. Started that in 2004. And then I also have a media company we call Couture Unlimited Media Productions, which I primarily do educational DVDs for the salon industry.
Fantastic.
Now, if I did a 60-second commercial,
Yeah.
I would have a split screen and I would have 2 different women. And the reason I would have that, Tim, is because our product line was one of the first product lines ever to be used for the skin and the hair and to be as effective for the hair and the skin as well. So what I would do is have 2 different women sitting there. And when we polled a lot of our clients at the salon, most women will have 3 to 5 skincare products as a regimen in the evening to take off their makeup. With ours, you only need 2. So the time frame is cut down considerably, as well as the amount of product that you use. So I'd have them both in a time-lapse video, removing their makeup and doing that prep before they go to bed in the evening to show you how fast and easy it is to use the products.
I love it. The visual that you just described helps to bring the product to life. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So Greg, you mentioned you've been in business for how many years?
Well, it'll be 37 years in February.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So who do you serve? Really, who's your best customer? We call that a target audience.
Well, in the salon, we primarily serve those individuals who are in the working field, still working and effectively handling their career and want to come in and have a look for that they can present themselves at work, whether they come in the morning, the afternoon, or evening. So we stay pretty busy throughout the day. So I would say our target range is anywhere from about probably 15 years old on up to 75 years old. We have a broad range of clients, both men and women. We serve both at the same time and effectively do that with most of our clients in the salon.
Fantastic. So what has been the greatest impact that COVID's had on your business, Greg?
Well, you know, the neat thing about what's happening, and of course, I think with COVID, everybody was confused as to what was going on. There's a lot of uncertainty. So with us, we are a small company with the salon itself. Now, I call my salon a studio, so I'll refer to it as a studio too. We have a lot of clients that actually came to our studio during the COVID because they were looking for a small place. They didn't want to go to a salon environment where there's a lot of people. So we really increased our business bottom line for doing that, as well as the product line itself too. And of course, we advertise in social media for the product line itself. So for the salon itself, we got a lot of business through word of mouth, people finding out that we are a small company in terms of how many we have. I used to have a big salon. Now I only have a small one. I have about 3-chair salon. And so the environment is much more intimate and personal. And clients seem to like that a lot, especially now with COVID going on. They don't feel like they need to be around an environment where there's a lot of gatherings. And the product line, we do social media ads. And I do that through my Couture Unlimited company where we put out social media ads for the product line.
Fantastic. So Greg, what are 1 or 2 actions that you've taken to help your business through COVID, and how are those actions been working for you?
Well, we want to make sure that all of our guests when they come to the studio are comfortable. So we're doing the protocols, taking precautions as far as sterilizing everything, wiping everything down, using viricide in between clients. So we wipe everything down from the shampoo bowls to the chairs themselves. We also have a sign in the studio that says, relax, you're in a comfortable, sterile, sanitary environment. For those clients that just are curious, of course, signs, of course, having put those throughout the studio makes people feel comfortable too. We are a touchless salon as well, meaning that we don't have, unfortunately, we don't have the magazines, so we can't host the guests in our salon as well as what we used to. But in a sense, we're making them feel safe at the same time. So we don't have the magazines, we don't have the coffee bar that we typically have. And we're trying to make it so when people pay, they don't have to necessarily have a transaction of using the credit cards from my hand to their hand. They can just use their own and swipe the card, that sort of thing.
Fantastic. So Greg, this is an interesting question. It's been said that smart people learn from their mistakes and wise people learn from the mistakes of others. So what mistakes have you made along the way that other entrepreneurs can learn from?
Well, for me, Tim, I think first and foremost, I think if I could have, I would have started sooner.
Hmm.
And I started at 22 when I started the studio. I mean, I don't know how much sooner I could have started. I think that at times in order to gain wisdom, you have to live some life.
Hmm.
So it takes a while to live some life to be able to gain some wisdom. So I think that would be the first thing, being able to start a little sooner if I could have, but I needed that wisdom to do that. At the same time, I would have also been able to, if I could have at the same time, manufacturing, when I was doing the manufacturing, I wished I would have had more knowledge during the manufacturing process than I did have, because I was new starting at it when I started the product line. Now, we launched in 2004, but 4 or 5 years prior to that, 98 is when I really started putting the product line together. I wish that I would have had somebody to coach me on putting the product line together, because I feel like when I was doing the manufacturing aspect, not only the product itself, working with my chemist, also getting the boxes together, also getting things like the logistics all together, ordering bottles, that sort of thing. I feel like I was probably taken a little bit advantage of during that time, because dealing with distributors of those products and the logistics, I felt like I was new. They could probably take a little bit advantage of me in that respect in doing so. And what I mean by that is like minimum runs. Like, instead of ordering, a lot of people say, well, Greg, why don't you do this or why don't you do that? I love that when people ask, well, why don't you make this? When people are asking you to do that, they're asking you to actually purchase whatever it is you're making, right? They're asking you to purchase. So for me, that's a wonderful thing. But the problem exists is, whereas, in simple form, when you're thinking about it, well, why don't you make this or why don't you make that? Well, I can't make just 1,000 bottles of this or 1,000 bottles of that. When I order bottles, it's usually runs of 30 to 50,000 bottles.
Right.
So in that respect, it's very difficult. Now, there are manufacturers, there are distributors who don't require that much minimum runs in product anymore, especially since that 2008 crash we had and the downturn of the economy. So a lot of chemists and a lot of labs and a lot of manufacturers with bottles and boxes cut down on their minimum run. So that actually helped out a lot. But occasionally I have people that will call me and ask me if I could have lunch with them and talk to them about starting a product line and what they would need to do about it. And I think once they finally hear everything that you got to go through, they may change their mind a little bit, because it's not as simple as it looks. It's supposed to look simple, right? Because if it looked hard, why would anybody do
it? Fair enough. So second last question here, Greg. I'm going to get your email information and your website and phone number to be able to post in this interview. Is there anything else that you'd like to add, like a special offer or any type of promotion that you're running?
Well, first and foremost, Tim, before hairdresser, I'm actually a businessman. I'm in the business of doing hair in the hair salon. And I tell you, that's the big difference between my salon and the one down the street. And I'm in the business of doing hair. So certainly would like to offer some shipping, some free shipping on some of the products that we have. So if you order anywhere from $25 or more, I will do free shipping. And that can actually be, you'd have to call me at the studio to do that. I don't have that on the website, only because as a manufacturer, we service a lot of salons in the industry across North America. And a lot of the salons were concerned that if I was actually selling online, that I was competing with them as a manufacturer. So we didn't want to do that. We didn't want to hurt those feelings. So primarily we have it set up to where you call me directly, and that number is 317-255-9991, and we can place an order there. Of course, our website has all the products and all the information on there that anybody that looking on that website could learn from.
All right, fantastic. Last question here, Greg. Tell me, what's been most inspiring to you during all of this craziness?
Probably the most important thing that's been inspiring to me, especially as a business owner, I'm on a forum group online, and what we do is that we have about 4,000 hairdressers from Indiana. It's primarily, it's for Indiana itself. And it's amazing how many people come on there with different ideas and trying to help each other. And really, as a group effort, even though we're not in the same salon, we help each other in this times of crisis for sure. But also just in general, even if there wasn't any COVID, it'd be great because everybody's sharing their ideas and so forth. The educational DVDs that I've done, I've actually posted online for those individuals to be able to share that information for other people. Likewise, they do the same, sharing that type of information with me as well. So probably the most inspiring thing would be the effort that people are making to help one another in this industry, because really we're all collectively trying to get through this together.
I love that. We've got a saying that we don't want to compete with others. We have co-opetition instead, because to your point, right, if we all learn from one another, then the industry in whole benefits, and we individually benefit from that, as opposed to worrying about competing with one another. So
That's right. It's such a more simple way of looking at things, and it just makes so much more sense to do that.
fantastic. All right. Well, Greg, that does conclude our interview. For those folks listening to this, if you've heard something in this interview that maybe you're struggling with and you'd like to talk through, I do offer a complimentary coaching session for folks, and I'll provide that information when I post this as well. Greg, it's been a pleasure learning about you and your company, and I wish you tremendous success.
Thank you, Tim. Thanks for having me again.
You're welcome. Have a fantastic day.
Yeah, you likewise as well. Thank you.